sky right before my eyes, just like the sea moves me every time, calling to me, begging me. Reality reminds me I still want you. I want you. I still want you.
Hey hoes, I'm Crit,
I'm Donato.
And I'm Vi.
and welcome to Island Fever, where grown-ass Pacifica people talk about doing grown things. And today we want to answer the question, how do I stand out in the crowd? And to do that, we got someone who's been standing out in the crowd for over 20 years now, Kid Fury, aka Greg Smith. What's up?
Welcome.
Full day.
The government name.
So let's talk about that, right? Because you've been in the game for a long time now. And I think, you know, for me personally, I think this would be a great opportunity for a lot of people to kind of take notes from you and just, you know, anyone out there who's thinking of getting into content creation or just, you know, having a career that's sustainable and just being able to pivot in different ways. And, you know, I think for you, that is such a big part of your personality where you come from. And there are things about Miami that define who you are in a lot of ways, right? So what does it mean to be from Miami and how does that kind of come out in your personality?
That's a great question. I think what it means to be Miami, I would say I'd specify being Black in Miami.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's a very, very specific experience.
Right.
And it's very different from people's idea of Miami or expectation. Because most people think of Miami, they think of Miami Beach.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is technically a completely different city.
Sure.
But I'm from the complete other side of the bridge, and I have a more grounded experience in Miami. And for a lot of that, because Miami, Florida is very conservative, very red.
Yeah.
I grew up around a lot of the ignorant MAGA Cuban foolishness that is like memed now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my experience growing up. So I would say being from Miami for me, like we are folks that kind of, Florida, honestly, in general, there's this viral clip of me saying Miami and Florida is a different.
Yes.
People did not let me live it down. It was a joke.
Okay.
And they don't have full context for why I said that. Anyhow, I think that it's just such a specific type of Blackness in that it's very tropical. A lot of people in Miami are Haitian, Bahamian, Dominican, Trini, Jamaican. So there's a big Caribbean influence there and a lot of stuff which I've always appreciated growing up. And I feel like we just kind of make our own thing. And obviously we have Trina, we have Trick Daddy. We have the reason for the parental advisory sticker. Legitimately. So, yeah. I don't know. I think Miami's just always been a specific kind of vibe and tone. And I've always just really appreciated that to the point where when I meet someone from Florida or see an artist from Florida or just like a dance or something, I have like a kind of pride. Because it's a rough place to be in,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
But I love it.
No, I'm the same way. Where I grew up, Porirua. I mean, you know, he's gonna talk about how it's the hood again. Like, fuck up, you didn't grow up there, all right? But there were so many kids who were ashamed to say they were like from there. You know, they'll say they were from the biggest city next to it, and I was like, no, I'm gonna be upfront and be like, this is where I'm from, and again, I think that's only helped me as far as, you know, like no one else being like me and it's also given me permission to do a lot of crazy shit that, you know, no one, other people wouldn't necessarily say or do.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I've always leaned into that. Like it is a big part of what makes me who I am, like the sensibilities that I live there. Would I like to return to some of those,
Right.
like atmospheres or situations? Not necessarily, but without them, I wouldn't have the perspective that I have now.
You know what, too? Like, I will double down on having so much pride in my hometown. It's funny, right before you came here, we were talking about the differences of Samoans from Carson and Samoans from Long Beach. And Crit was like, well, what's the difference? And I'm like, girl, sit down. First of all, we're going to talk about it. But exactly, right, this sense of pride, this sense of culture, essentially, right, what you experience in these certain cities, neighborhoods, it looks different from, like you said, 5 minutes up the block.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby, you heard gunshots and we was ducking. You heard gunshots and you thought fireworks, bitch. We're not the same, right? Like, and I think I would double down on, I love that I came from the struggle.
Right.
Like, baby, I will toot my shit because, yes, I'm not there anymore. But had it not been for that, I don't think I would be who I am. I wouldn't service how I do. And maybe I wouldn't appreciate all the fancy, luxurious shit I like now.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a flex.
Duality, bitch.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, it's a flex because it's like, look what you've been able to achieve. Like, and I wouldn't even say in spite of. It's just like, this is who makes me who I am, and this actually adds to my life rather than what everyone else fucking thinks of it. So
I'm first generation
Yep.
American. So I also had this element of, I was born with the element of you're a black boy in a place that looks to destroy you for no reason.
yeah.
So I was very, very aware of that from a young age, and so proud of my blackness because of that. And I also really loved that I had like two incredibly different, mostly different cultural experiences.
Yeah.
Because I went and preferred to go to public schools that had a large black,
Right.
what do you call it, class or what have you. And so I got that experience, and my everyday public experience, school experience, was Trick Daddy. It was treated like black American shit. And I go home and it's like my mom's making oxtail, or dominoes was the thing we played at.
Yeah.
I like that we had those things, so I had like multiple I had more than one perspective on how that works.
I relate to that in the sense of like growing up in diaspora. Sometimes it's even hard for me to say like I'm first gen. Like I don't have the same relationship to what that means for most people, right? Like my mom migrated from Tonga to American Samoa, and my dad is from American Samoa. American Samoa being colonized by the U.S., right? So like, what does that really even mean for someone like me?
Yeah.
Like, I don't fully embrace that, but sometimes I'll use that language to help other people kind of get a better sense of my experience
I totally get it.
here in diaspora. But like, I'm fortunate I got the opportunity as a kid to live in multiple cities and understand like the different cultural nuances that are at play in like versus places like Hawaii or Seattle throughout my upbringing, right? In some ways, like when I went back to American Samoa, going back and forth, there became a time where I started to speak more English than Samoan. And then I was labeled as Palangi, which is like white.
White.
And I'm like, what the hell are y'all talking about? White.
I hate that. I hate it so much, especially because it's like, girl, look at white people.
Right.
They wear a blue suit with a red tie now, but there are so many hick, dumb, like
Right.
uneducated and proud, toothless white people. Like, what does sounding white sound like?
Right.
But I have also never like traveled outside of like their own county. even.
Exactly.
Right? Like, and so like I get that, like so offended by that, but also like knowing that there's so many people out there that have lived lives that are so like within this bubble, right? Like, really makes me sad for them. Like, y'all get out there. There's so much more. I would not recommend anyone move to Florida, especially now.
Neither would I.
I'm curious, when did you know it was time to pack
Get
it up?
the fuck out.
When I was a teenager, I think I knew, and you know what it was? It wasn't even as much of the, it wasn't even much of like a social thing or socio-political thing or race thing. It was more like career stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, if I'm not going to strip or sell drugs or get into realty, dang it. Like, I don't need to live here. I don't need to live here. I know I want to tell jokes. I know I want to write stuff. There's no reason for me to stay here.
Yeah.
So that was really when I realized that, when I was probably even before my teens, maybe like preteens, 11, 12 years old, when I was watching TV, Disney and Nickelodeon. I was like, I can do this shit. I want to do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think what's very interesting as well about living in Miami is that isn't like the average experience, especially for like Latin Americans, Cuban Americans, because they migrate from wherever and speak. A lot of them might not speak English when they get here, but it's not hard to go outside in Miami and find someone who speaks Spanish.
You can go your whole life without having to speak.
You can go your whole life in Miami and not speak Spanish,
right.
get a job. In fact, let's put this shit on the flow. You can barely get a job if you do not speak Spanish in Miami.
Right.
Which is one of the reasons my mother is right now trying to encourage my youngest brother to leave. Because it is incredibly difficult to find work there, because they're just like, oh, they're looking for people who speak Spanish.
When I think of Miami, I learned more about it once I started visiting my auntie there. And so as someone who grew up in New Zealand, like, it was a very limited perspective. And so I didn't really know about the rich Caribbean culture out there. You think of white Latins for the most part, right? And a lot of salsa. And then, if you watched freaking Scarface, that's another reference point. In American Samoa, like, what was your content as far as taking in Miami, but specifically Jamaicans? Because I feel like that's for such a, I don't want to call it a small island, but
it's really small.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But for a nation of its size, like, it's just had such a huge impact in the world, right? So, like, yeah. Well.
Oh, for me, I dabbled in Jamaican waters.
Period.
I know, that's right.
And there's an air of confidence that Jamaican men have. And just their swag, the way they groove. Like, I was enticed by many on the dance floor. If you were at an era in Hawaii, Waikiki, when like Zanzibar was still open, it's no longer available. But I would get so lost in the dance floor, and most of the men that I would just attract, were the Jamaicans, and I could tell once the hips started swinging on the dance floor. And then next thing you know, I'm making out here and I'm making out here, and then okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like this level of like confidence and swag, and I'm just like, the ocean connects us.
Period.
Yeah. It's pretty on point too.
Yes. So you're saying what was our understanding of Jamaicans in general at a young age? So I actually had a friend in high school who was Jamaican, or Trinidadian and Jamaican.
Yeah.
Let me be clear. And when we both were so intrigued and like, what are you? Like, we were both interested in what ethnic background are you? Because I know it's not the majority, which was like Hispanic folks at our school. Long story long, I started to learn about her daddy, her Jamaican daddy, who, no tea, no shade to my Jamaicans, was abusive as fuck.
Well.
And I'm like, girl, let me tell you about my Samoan daddy then. Like, you think that's something. Let me tell you how I got my ass whooped the other night too. So unfortunately, we bonded over like how strict our parents were and how discipline was very physical for both of us. So we both knew we had to get our shit right together because we had to go home to these very strict parents. So my understanding of Jamaicans in general was like very rich culture, and also don't play that shit either. Just like, for me, I was like, girl, my dad too. Like, I don't cuss at home either. I don't smack my lips. Like, none of that shit goes. So it was that was always my interpretation for a very long time of like, damn, Jamaicans and Samoans get creative with how they gonna whoop their kids' ass. I'll say that.
That's very true.
Yo, it was so different in New Zealand. The biggest reference point for us was Bob Marley. So
Oh,
if you didn't know this,
yes. Okay.
Bob Marley has sold more records per capita in New Zealand than any other country in the world. It's crazy. Maldives love him out there specifically. And I think a lot of it had to do with like the political climate and just seeing themselves in the music, and the storytelling. And so, for us, it's like, and again, as kids and just New Zealand can be a little problematic. Like Jamaicans are all like locks and, smoking weed and just doing reggae music, like that's the extent of what a lot of us kind of took in. And so it has been, I didn't get to meet like the arrogance, but when I say arrogance, like that's an arrogance I like though, like it's not like white people arrogance. It's like, it's a cockiness that's rooted in like attitude and just swag. Yeah, exactly. And so,
so you haven't dibbled your toes in Jamaican waters yet?
Ooh, one dabbled his fingers.
I knew that was coming.
Well, here's the thing. We were at the Grove and we were watching Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Great movie.
And this is when it happened a second time too, but with someone else.
Another finger?
Fingered in the movie theater?
I stopped them, but they tried to. And this is when I learned my lesson to stop wearing shorts to the movies.
Oh, those will get you at the movies all the time.
No, exactly.
Those will get you at the movies.
And that's on Everything Everywhere all at once.
Yeah, but tell you what, okay, I mean, neither movie was appropriate, but it's another thing to do it in Transformers 1. Like, why would you do that?
Baby, he was trying to transform you, all right.
The first Transformers?
No, Transformers 1, which is like yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is super weird.
Right, I was like, yo.
You talk about some Michael Bay, the cartoon.
Oh, not the Michael
Oh,
Bay?
the cartoon.
No,
cartoon
animated.
Oh,
This is a Wendy's.
No,
I'm sorry I asked.
So I don't know. This is why I think it's really important for people to see different representations, and you as a proud Jamaican now, especially as a queer proud Jamaican, like it's not something that I'm sure a lot of people in the US even got to see, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm curious to know what your thoughts were and what your understanding of Pacifica people were based on, what you were exposed to at school or media.
So I'll say right off the bat that my perspective on it or my understanding on it was that I couldn't get a proper understanding.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what that means. Everything that I knew about it was through white media, so it was like Johnny Tsunami. It was, it was like the trope of the sitcom family being like, oh, we're gonna go to Hawaii. And it was like stuff that me being someone who went to an island that looks nothing like this place constantly was like, there's more.
Yeah.
There's more. And where is it? And also, the fact that I lived in a place in Miami that our media was missing so much. And it was like, it felt intentional. You had Scarface, you had like all these music, Will Smith songs.
Yo.
He's like, I still like him.
Yeah.
So like that's why to this day, the understanding of Miami is Latin women. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting that it's women all the time. Like,
right.
Beautiful Latin women, beaches, partying, drinking.
Yep.
And it's like, that is this tiny segment of this place.
Yeah.
So not only is Miami not really getting or allowing people to have a proper understanding, it's intentionally leaving huge cultures out of the conversation. So when I'm watching all of the stuff that I watched on TV, I was like, I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of this episode of Family Matters.
Yeah.
And it's so far away. When you growing up and you like the other side of the country feels like it's in another
right.
It feels so far away. So I felt like I don't understand. I might not ever get the opportunity to truly understand. And really, it wasn't until I moved here that I was like consistently around people from the Pacific Islands, and was able to get like a more enriched perspective of it, because it was like, okay, The Rock, fine.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
That's it.
I'm waiting for The Rock to come out. Like,
Yeah.
if you talking about you moving to LA, you're exposed to Hollywood culture through media. Like, yeah,
Well, so when you did move out to LA and then you grew this massive platform, specifically with YouTube and then the Read, right? And we're talking about like standing out, right? Like, what was it that made you stand out?
I don't know. I think I'm just very specific, and I think I was gonna give a disclaimer here, but I don't care. I'm very unique. There aren't many people like me in the space who speak like me or have the delivery that I have. And
Yep.
you also have already hit on like these intersections, being Black and queer and Jamaican and all these things.
Yeah.
So I think that I just have my own sort of voice that I've always appreciated. But I have 20 years in the game, and I don't know. I think that there's just something, I get excited about making people laugh, or the potential to make people laugh. So yeah, I think it's really just been dedication and the effort to be consistent and the refusal to be trendy.
Yeah.
I think that if it's worth trending, it will.
yeah.
I don't want to, 6'7". I don't care. I don't know what that is. It's not my business. And I want the children to have the things that the children have. So
Right.
I don't want to be like, Chris Brown making 20-year-old music at 40.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just not my tea, because I can make 40-year-old music.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's probably something that might help me stand out. And it's one of the things I've always, when people have been like, oh, can you give me some pointers or advice on like podcasting and stuff, I'm like, talk about what you want to talk about.
Right.
Don't
Yeah.
talk about what you feel like is popular, or try to talk about what you want to talk about. If you want to talk about knitting, crochet, you know what I'm saying? If you want to talk about
Right.
your grandmother's recipe, food, talk about what you are
Yeah.
excited to talk about.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was like, yeah, be unique. Don't think about what everyone else is thinking about, or why, that one joke that person said is funny, and don't measure your success next to anybody
Yeah.
else's.
I was hoping you were going to say, because you're also funny as fuck and can read someone like no other, and then humbly ground in some real articulate perspective. Like, girl, you should have started with that, if I'm being honest, because my first introduction to one of your episodes, I told Craig, I was like, oh my God, the way that he had his foot on these people's fucking necks and then got up gracefully and was like, yeah, so let's talk about something with more depth and meaning. I was just, this is me listening like, oh my fucking goodness, this is so good. And like you said, not only is that unique, but I feel like it helps connect, right? Like
Yeah.
you feel seen, you feel validated. And then you're also like, step on that fucking neck so I don't have to. Like, it's a craft and you've got it down packed. And I'm like, we love these humble guests on our podcast. Y'all are so humble. I'm like, pop your shit,
I don't really be
please.
thinking about it. One, to that point, there a common thing that is said is what do they say, like, you're the voice in my head, or you say the things I'm afraid to say.
I think I said something like that. I'm like, you say all the things that someone's thinking, but don't want to say, which
Yeah.
is very much so Crit too. And I'm like, Crit, he does that thing. Like, he gonna say it while everyone's thinking it.
Yeah, but I'm not thinking like, oh,
Right.
I
Yeah,
gotta say
yeah.
what comes out of my mouth.
Right.
You're authentic.
Sometimes I think like, okay, girl.
Yo, I'm thinking about one piece of advice you gave me. Well, I don't even think it was like knowingly, but I remember you mentioned when you get into any project like this, you have to know the people that you're going into it with.
Yeah.
And I learned that the hard way. but I to have a show with Crystal for so long, like what is it about your chemistry that makes things click?
Well, first of all, I think that she, like, we have like a ping-pongy banter, and we have very similar sense of humor,
Yeah.
but our delivery is quite different, and I feel like that it complements
Yeah.
each other. But past like just actual performance stuff, like, we were good friends before we started the podcast, and the way that we speak on the podcast is how we always spoke to each other.
Yeah.
Which is why I wanted to start it in the first place. But then other than that, she's always had this like big sister energy with me, and so there's like a sensitivity and a care
Yeah.
for like us as people, like human beings. So I think that overall that's been kind of at the heart of why the show is so old and why we still laughing and have a good time, because I don't fully see like a co-host or a co-worker like
Yeah.
it's my homegirl.
Yeah.
So that's probably what has helped us stand out in the test of time and things like that.
Yeah.
And that is why I suggest it, because it's just, not only do I think it's just more fun to chit chat and have fun and talk about whatever with your actual friends.
Yeah.
I think that it can help the longevity and the performance of the show too, because you're not getting up and like clocking out. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, you want this to be fun.
Yeah.
You want to
Oh,
at least
please.
enjoy doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. 'Cause the first season, woo,
Poor Crit. I see his face like, it's okay. Season 1 served its purpose.
There's a lot of people's experience. in
yo,
podcasting.
Yeah.
no, and that's what my friend I said told me. He was just like, you know what, this is very common. For new projects, like you'll have to switch out team members or whatever. You got to find your flow, right? And that first season, there's an unseen episode. What would you call it? What do you call it?
Unreleased.
Yeah,
Released raw.
right. There's an unreleased episode that no one has seen, but basically we were at each other's throats. That when Vi came in to be our special guest, because she was coming in every 4th episode, I was like, yo, we need to cut the cameras. Oh, sorry.
Baby, they want me to work. They wanted me to work that day.
And so I was like, we are not going to be talking about what we came here to talk about, like what we had planned. I was like, we're just going to have a real fucking therapy session with Viola. So we got her at a good rate. But it was
A community
The
rate.
community rate.
Philanthropy.
right. And sometimes I think about, should we release that episode at some point? But, I think the bigger point was, it can get rough when you don't know what you're going into. And I think the safety of this season is based on that foundation that we had as friends first, and just having a good relationship, a positive relationship, and having an established chemistry already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention too, I kind of already had the behind the scenes of like when it ain't aligned, right? Because like what I'm not gonna do is be the client and the therapist, bitch, in season 2.
Yeah.
But absolutely, I mean, even like being a part of that episode, you got to hear different perspectives and how sometimes collaboration doesn't always go the way that y'all envision collaboration goes, and then people's feelings get hurt, egos feel challenged, and I'm just like, oh, you want me and Donato to join this permanently, full time? Okay, let's start with like, what do we like about each other?
Right.
Well, how much
You know what
fun
you
are we
did?
gonna have?
Yeah.
Right? I asked all those questions.
Now looking back, I was like, oh, she was therapizing before we even started.
I think of too, like a lot of producers, directors for like films and stuff, and even television, if they cast 2 people to be like a couple, they'll send them to go hang out, or sometimes the actors, elect to go hang out with each other and get to know each other better. So it can help like build the chemistry there. You can at least see each other.
Yeah.
For what, like when we did the first season of Rap Shit, we sent Jonica and Ida and Chameleon, who were like the main characters. They would go hang out in Miami all the time, get to know each other. By the time we started filming, they were like good friends. So they can be good friends.
Smart.
Yeah.
So I feel like podcasting should be the same shit. If you don't know each other, or at least you're not very close, go hang out with each other. Go chill, go to movies, go to a restaurant, do whatever to at least get the chemistry going. Auditions are like that too. You do a chemistry test.
Yeah.
So that directors can go, okay, these 2 are really good together. They don't really seem like they bounce it. And that's how they'll choose who's on what.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think podcasts probably do that shit too. Versus being on episode 150 and be like, if I could kill this bitch.
So going back to being in the game for 20 years now, that's a long freaking time, and I'm sure there's been many a challenge. Like, how has, as we have, our therapist here, how has mental health informed your creativity, and how has your creativity informed your mental health?
How my mental health is informed my creativity is that I think I think it has in a way that I started really opening up about my mental health in my creativity for, I think, two main reasons. The first one, I think like the main one, was to give people who cared and who were like watching these YouTube videos and listening to the podcast, to give them like understanding of me. So, because my anxiety was like, I wasn't funny in this episode, or this one didn't come out on time. Just like little nitpicky stuff.
Yeah.
And so I started talking about it because in my mind, I'm like, people see this, or they're going to be disappointed, or this isn't going to be good enough. So it's just kind of like, here's who I am and what I'm dealing with. So you kind of have an understanding of the tempo over here. Over time, the main thing, the more important thing, just became visibility.
Yeah.
Especially when you come from certain places. Like, I know Black people, not even just Black American, just don't acknowledge it a lot of the time. Like depression, anxiety, or like actual clinical mental health disorders. So understanding that a lot of people are paying attention who might be dealing with what I deal with, but don't have people to talk to about it or a platform to talk to about it. You can listen to this podcast and be like, oh, okay, I'm not alone. That sounds like me. And I can listen to this person and their experience through it on a show where they're cackling and talking about dicks and whatever the fuck, and possibly be cool too, or even go do stand up or write for TV or whatever. So it really became more about sharing the experience for people who might not need to hear it.
Yeah. And I one thing I appreciated, there was a few episodes I listened to where you talk pretty in depth about your mental. I appreciated how you are a space to reference for other queer Black males in this world, right? To show and model and not try to interpret that or give language or education that I can't speak to. So in some ways too, I think about what a blessing and a gift you offer to your own communities and the intersections of your identity to not only candidly speak about mental health, but to say mental health and, right? I was anxious as fuck and I still got some dick. And then we laughed about it on this podcast, right? And so we humanize these experiences and these conversations as normal, everyday conversations because that's what the fuck they are. Right? So I think you also help break down the stigma for a lot of communities that are looking to you for other things, right? They done left with a whole education behind their mental as well. So, I mean, that was just something I really appreciated in some of the episodes. I was like, wow. Okay, so now I'm just going to tell my client, go listen to section 2 point whatever the minutes to this one because I couldn't explain it any better. Like,
That's awesome to hear because, I'm just speaking from my heart. I don't have like much to share outside of my experience on these things. And although I have several different types of therapy that I'm in and have been in, I'm not going to get to speak in their words or, try to take it too deep because ultimately I'm a comedian. And so I perform through humor. I make jokes about it and through it for, I think, both of us. Like, I have to laugh at it in order to keep myself afloat. And I think, like you said, if people are listening and I'm talking about this thing and I can laugh through it and laugh at myself, I always hope for it to be a thing where you can talk about something that's heavy and not feel heavy all the time. You know, because some people will just avoid conversations that they need to have or information that they need to have because they're scared of how heavy it feels. And, it's not conducive to being or feeling better.
No, and that's because the longer you carry something by yourself, the heavier it gets, right? The minute you allow somebody else to take one of them weights, you lighten. So it's also just a testimony to trusting community sometimes. When you don't feel like you have it, you don't have to, right? Because there's people behind you looking like, well, bitch, I got space and capacity. Right. What you need me to hold? And again, though, I think like a lot of us didn't have those spaces to turn to, right, growing up. So it's beautiful that we could create opportunities for conversations to happen and to laugh because laughter is so healing. Bitch, I want to laugh in every therapy session, even though we just processed the traumatic shit you've been through. Can we just laugh at how hard that shit was?
Yeah.
Like, can we laugh at the fact that I reloaded my Snicker candy bottle while you was talking about that just in case you needed something to regulate after? Like, it's so healing to do that.
Yeah, I joke or make jokes in therapy all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, thankfully, the man laughs. Like, yeah, I have to laugh.
Yes.
Like, I have to laugh. Because, girl, I cry plenty. So
Yeah.
it's not like there isn't balance there. Yeah. I love laughter and I love sharing.
Oh, what a
with
gift.
people. It is a blessing.
Yeah. I think another blessing that I think of when I think of you is that you were able to create a show like Rap Shit, right? That reflects your experiences.
Yes.
And that's a dream come true for me to make a show about my hometown, you know, and really tell the stories of my people. And I think that's going back to what makes you stand out. Like, it's that very place you came from, right? That makes you who you are. And so that's a big goal of mine, is to tell more stories that belong to my family and the communities that I grew up in. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't tell you how great it felt to work on that show, HBO. Because, like I said earlier, I only saw scripted television set in Miami surrounding either white people or white Latin people. And so to finally see something other than Moonlight, because Moonlight was an excellent portrayal of being Black in that city, like excellent. So to get to make something like that and to be a series and to be a comedy, and I would have been happy just to watch it. Like, I would have loved just seeing it. Like, thank God someone is paying attention to the Black, not even just Black people, cities. I mean, that's like neighborhoods, houses, food, sayings. It was like, finally someone made this and I get to be a part of it. So I completely get what you're talking about, because Hollywood don't care. Like, they, you know what I mean? It has to be everything everywhere all at once. Like, it has to be, you know, like,
For them
usually
to
has be-
care.
yeah, for them to care. Or white guilt, you know? Really, wasn't that so bad? It wasn't, but you're trying to do it again.
Okay. What, you know, you clearly have a very intelligent, like, creative spirit and mindset. I'm curious about what pushed that or encouraged that throughout your life, and or maybe even your transition from Miami to LA. Like, what inspired, what pushed you, what motivated you, who supported you?
My parents have always been very supportive. Not always, let me stop lying. But they are very supportive. I'll say that ever since I was very young, my mom, she wouldn't just like hand out money, pocket money, play money, nothing like that. But she would help me pay for things related to my passions, like especially career-wise. She was like, I don't really understand this YouTube thing, but you need some money for GoDaddy, I'll pay for it, because I know like this is something passionate for you and I know it can turn into something else. So even now, her fake not watching my content, but then calling me and being like, you know, it's so funny. Something came across the phone and I wasn't looking for it. But then I was like, look at my handsome son. So like, all right, lady. So definitely I would say my parents, for sure. Crystal, she taught me how to move. Showing me how to move. And through so many of the like lows or like really difficult moments, since moving to New York and starting the read and up until this point, she's cared, you know, it's that sister energy where like the program ain't bigger than us. You know what I mean? So again, having someone that I work with and do this thing that I find very fun, be someone who sees like my heart and cares for me as a person, more than this, someone I used to call and get advice from, and I thought that it feels safe to express creativity in that space. And good old Jesus.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I mean, yeah. And then like obviously this sounds like very, oh my God, I want a Golden Globe, but everybody who's watched and listened and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Because I care deeply about
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
and always have, no matter the number or the city or the dollar amount. So there's the aspect of like, I want to entertain these people at the best of my ability, but there's also like, these people are like distant family, and I feel like it is.
They have a part of you.
Yes, they have like a part of me in here, and every time I could be having like a not so great day, and someone might stop me and say, "I know you hate when people do this," and I've had to like over the past 5-10 years be like, "It's fine, I've grown up."
Yeah.
That stuff, it helps too, because it could be like, yeah, I'm in Ralph's going to buy whatever candy I shouldn't be eating. And someone was like, "Hey, recognize you." Some people even do this. Like this past weekend, someone was like, "Love you. I appreciate you so much. You're so great and so important. Have a great day."
Oh.
And that's
Yeah.
Yes.
why shouldn't I get back up and continue to do the stuff that I love to do? So yeah, I'm so solid in that regard.
Yo.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Y'all got me up here being poetic and shit.
It's just what we
I'm
do.
sorry, that's a symptom of being on this show.
Yeah. What we prescribe here.
Now back to the catty stuff.
Man.
No, I just think it speaks to, again, like the love that you have at home, you know, and how that just trickles out into everything you do. And I feel like the safe space is where your creativity can flourish, you know, and that's where the magic happens is when you feel held and you feel supported, and I feel that with my co-host too, and with every guest that we bring in too. Like I feel like that's there. So yeah.
People people may not realize it, but doing this is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're sitting down in front of cameras and stuff like that, but it's hard in the sense that unless you don't give a shit,
Right.
it's a lot of pressure. It can be a lot of anxiety. It can be a lot of how does my hair look? Did that thing I say sound stupid? There's so much that we think about and we put into it. It can keep you up at night sometimes. So why not embrace the good of it and the parts that you are passionate about, and hopefully do it with people that you can kiki with, and both, you know, finish recording and go, "Woo, girl," together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And how important it is. Like, I appreciate you naming the community behind you, because I think we've collectively at every conversation, we've named or we've asked our guests to share, because we know, like, when we come and sit on this couch, baby, it ain't never just us, right? When we tell our stories, when we speak about our experiences, it's not just us who felt those experiences or who went through them. And so when people consume or hear your testimony, I want them to be reminded, like, don't ever get it twisted. This is not a one-man show. We'll leave that to the colonizers to do stuff alone, right? Like, but I think I'm deliberate about, like, I ain't never by myself, bitch. You may see just me, but you're not going to hear just me, right? And you're a testimony of that same thing as you're sharing, like, no, there was somebody who believed in me. There was someone who helped me initiate, who drove me. And still to this day, you have someone who's guiding you, holding your hand, not as a let me teach you, but like, I got you.
Yeah.
Right?
And sometimes mental health, sometimes mental health issues like mine make it hard to remember that. You know, I think that's just like a natural
Real.
Experience for people who suffer from depression or anxiety or, all of these different things. But I have, as I've gotten older, I like name and acknowledge that part of me. And it's become so much easier now, actually, to say, okay, this feeling is temporary. I'm sad or I'm angry or whatever, but I'm gonna sit in it because I know it's gonna go away. Rather than making it feeling like it's going to last forever or be nonstop. And even if I feel like I'm telling myself, oh, I'm alone or whatever, there are people who die by me. So
Am I really? Right. So am I really alone?
am I really alone? Yeah.
Oh, how beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
You're making me recall a time in my life where, looking back, oh my gosh, the anxiety and the depression I was experiencing was bonkers. But the way it showed up meant like I had to do everything else to avoid really confronting those feelings. And I look back and I joke on it now with a friend, laughing through it, right? At the time, I was so offended. And how it ended up showing up was I was asking my supervisor at the time to take the weekend off for Pride. And she was like, girl, you just took all these other days off for another thing and another thing. But I was like avoiding one, that the job that I had at the time I hated. It made me really sad. And I was just like so anxious and it was chaotic or whatever. But the one thing that she said to me that really stung in the moment was like, I understand life happens, but life needs to happen to you a little bit less. And I was like,
The homophobia.
but I look back at it now and like, sometimes I'm like, okay, wait, I actually needed to hear that. Because it lit a fire under me in some way to be like, I'm going to prove that bitch wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm able to like joke and laugh about that now. And like when I have a moment where I'm just like, girl, life is happening, but it can happen to you a little less. And so what does that look like in practice? Does it mean I take one other thing off my plate right now? Does it mean I just sit with it? Right? To let the feelings of like sadness or anxiety pass through me so I can come back to the task at hand with more clarity. And so that's how I've evolved it. She probably met it with so much shade, but now it's
I
like,
love how you reappropriated it. Because what the fuck does she even Life needs to happen to you less. Guess what, girl? 24 hours a day life. Shut up.
Bitch.
That's another reason why I do what I do now. And God, thank you, Jesus, that I was able to make it and take care of myself off of it. Because a boss.
oh, I went to Pride and then quit that job.
I know
Work.
that's right.
Exactly.
And
I didn't
that's
go
all
back.
reparations, bitch.
Because I'm going to march with my people and fuck that job.
My Jamaican daddy used to always say, if you can have your own thing,
Yeah.
do that. Don't ever not work towards that goal. You should not aspire to work underneath someone else for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Especially because there are people who don't look like us, white people, who are born like, oh, everything is mine. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
why not have something for yourself?
Ooh, so much of that conditioning, bitch. I'm like, good God, I did not want to own my own practice. Like that was not in the business goal at all, or in my lifetime goals and long-term goals. I never wanted to own my own until, some real life shit happened. And then
Yeah.
I said, oh, maybe I want to bet on me and not these corporations who exploit my fucking talent and skill set. But there was something else I was going to name on top of that is you remind us so much that people are still people.
Yeah.
No matter the platform, the following, right? The different accomplishments you've been able to tackle. Like at the end of all of this, I'm still a person, right? But like the character version of you, right? The version people know and can consume and are entertained by, they get that fucked up with like the raw you sometimes. And then they're upset at this character and they're attacking this character, but then the real raw person feels all of that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's still a piece of me. I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, I completely
No,
Does
you're
that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but also a lot of I don't know. I'm definitely the type of person like some of the characters and the real person deserve the hate that they're getting
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm better at distinguishing that.
Yeah.
But at the core of them, that always shines through anyway. You know, like
Right.
The way folks talk about it now is like parasocial relationships, right? Like
Yeah.
people have a relationship with what they've consumed of a piece of a story or a reel or something you've written.
Right.
And so they think they know the fullness of you without actually experiencing
Right.
you.
Right.
And so they've made a decision based on who you are, based on maybe a piece of that content and run with it. So
Right.
they'll either hate you, love you, be confused by you, or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's not fair.
Yeah. I think outside of that, it's difficult for people to really figure out their identity fully because we choose often to stay distracted because it's more comfortable.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people are like 60-year-old, like, am I bisexual? Yes, bitch, you been bisexual. Like,
If you
been.
have to ask,
Right.
at this age,
After you done moved to Palm Springs, like, baby, come on. The call is coming from inside
my
the house.
God.
Bitch.
You're more than welcome. We have all the letters.
okay, or the trade being like, oh, can I try that on
Oh.
my bra?
Go for it.
Maybe, I guess.
God. And on that note, there's so many gems today. I feel like, we're very new in this game, but there's, so much to learn from you.
You don't seem new.
What a compliment. What a top tier
I know,
compliment.
and on that note,
Bye, hoes.